So at this point, we got just about everything off. We're going to save the seat post for last because we need it to hang into our repair stand. So we got handlebars, we got stem, we got headsets, and we have forks. So let's focus on that next. This bike has a little something extra on it right about here. This is looks like it's some aluminum. It's got 2 bolts down at the bottom. I guess they thought they needed this at the time when they were making these bikes, but it's basically to stop the chain from getting stuck if it does pop off the chain rings and get caught between the frame. So I flipped the bike, so we're looking at underneath of the frame right here. Here's our bottom bracket, and then here's that piece right there. We got 1, 2 bolts. It actually has little steps on it, cut out steps. So chain rings right here. If the chain fell off, it would hit this guy, keep the chain from getting stuck in between your chain ring and the frame. So it's basically a chain protector, I guess, or a frame protector. You don't see these too much. They didn't come on very many bikes. I guess the idea didn't last too long. So for this area, either you have two different types of headsets. Either we have the threadless headset. If it's threadless, that means we're going to have a stem that looks like this with 2 pinch bolts. It's going to go around, and then we're going to have a top cap here. The other style is where we can get 2 tools here. It's going to be threaded. So there's going to be a tool, 2 bolts right here. We can put 2 tools on and unscrew it from there. But this is we're doing a threadless on this one. Probably the most common today. You'll find threaded on older bikes and probably some very particular, maybe steel frames, older school looking bikes. So these are the 2 pinch bolts. Those are the most important ones. Once we loosen those, we'll still have this top cap bolt that's holding everything in place. So it doesn't matter which one we do first. This is the top cap adjusting bolt of our headset, and if we over tighten this bolt here, it is going to make steering really rough. So take this screw out all the way, and then we have our top cap, just like that. And then inside there, you're going to see what looks like a star nut that got wedged in there to a certain depth. That's definitely needed. So as you can see, everything's still staying in place. These 2 bolts are the most important ones. Once I loosen these 2, it's going to allow everything, the handlebars and wheel, to move separate of the handlebar and stem. So once I loosen these, we need to hang on to your fork. Either you're going to wrap something here like a Velcro or a pedal strap. So when you loosen these 2, trying to avoid this fork from falling to the floor, or it could just be stuck in there, but either way, we don't want anything to hit the floor. So when you're ready, when you're almost loose there, you're going to get one hand on it, like I am. So I'm going to hang on to this fork, loosen up that last bolt, put my tool away, slide my stem off with my bars, and this guy might still be stuck in there. Sometimes they're wedged in there, so either have someone hang on to it, strap it, or put a pillow underneath it in case it falls. So if you're running into something like this where it is stuck and it doesn't want to come loose, we're going to get a mallet, a rubber mallet. Going to use a big black rubber mallet right here. Either we can tap the top or we can tap just along the sides. We just need to break free a little compression ring in there. So hang on to your fork, give it a couple love taps. There it goes. And we got one little washer that fell, so keep an eye on some of those things. So when I brought this down, we have a ball bearing cage that came with the fork. It's either going to come with the fork or it's going to stay stuck inside there, so careful, it could fall off once you pull your fork down. And then inside here, here's our compression plug. This one has a slit in it and it's wedged, so remember the orientation when you take everything off, putting everything in an order. And then there's a plastic dust cap, which is also part of the race that's going to ride on top of the bearings. There's bearings right inside there. So these ball bearings are in a cage. Sometimes they're loose. When you pull this out, careful that some ball bearings could fall out. So this is, remember the orientation, this is upside down and right side up. This is the correct orientation. You could put this in upside down and things will not run very smoothly once you put it back together. So remember this orientation, and this is the top. In most cases, the top and bottom are symmetrical. They look the same, but just keep a good eyeball on it. The newer bikes have a tapered headset, so they could be different. Top from bottom could be different. So we're going to pull this out, mark this somewhere, put that on your workbench as the top, and then correct orientation. Now we have the cups. We have these two black portions right here. These got pressed in So these bearings, this is a good example of bearings sitting on the outside of the bike, or outboard style bearings, because they're not, rather than sitting inside. So these cups right here are what the bearings are resting on. So if we're going to paint this bike or replace the headset, we need to take these two cups out, and they're pressed in, so we need to knock them out. There are special tools out there. Those tools are great because it makes for an easy, fast job, less chance of chipping and messing up your bike frame. So we're going to knock those guys out next. So we're going to be using this tool right here. Pretty cool looking tool. This is a RT-1. It's the universal head cup remover. These guys flex. It's a very strong, stiff metal, but we do got some flexing right here. So we're going to put this in. This is the top. This is the portion we'll be hitting. Actually, we're going to knock the bottom cup out. So we're going to install this head starting from the bottom. And what this is going to do, once you get close there, we're going to slowly wedge this up, because if you pull too hard, it's going to fly right out the other side. Kind of like that. So we're going to do that again. We're trying to get these edges to catch just on the inside of this cup right there. And take a good look inside there, because there could be a wedge on the frame, and sometimes you're thinking that you're hitting the cup when you're actually hitting the frame. So get some eyes in there, get a flashlight, see what's going on before and after. So this wedge needs to stop right about there. So we're going to be just very carefully inching that up. You're going to hear a snap when it hits the top of our cup. Slower and slower as you get closer. There it is. So here you can see those fingers just caught the inside of the edge there. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the good thing about that tool. It makes good contact in 4 places. Now we're going to use a hammer. We're not going to use a mallet. We're going to use something heavier, something with some weight. So we're going to use something like this guy right here, because we don't want to mess around. We don't want to be pounding rubber when this guy's forced in there. So I'm going to hang on to this tool, not too close to the base, because as you push, it's going to want to take your finger or skin with it inside here. So maybe 2 fingers right here, embracing on the frame. But also, you could knock this cup out. It could go flying down to the floor or across your garage or shop. So if you can, have somebody else with the rag, give it some space, and be it a catcher right here. So in this case, I'm going to be working by myself. So I'm going to give it a few taps, maybe break it loose, and maybe I can wedge it free. A couple taps here, and careful not to get any skin pinched right inside there. So a few taps. Yeah, it's starting to break free already. Hope this was helpful. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment. If you like what you see, leave a thumbs up. Something I didn't do or I didn't get to, just go ahead and leave that comment as well. Don't forget to subscribe if you like what you see. Thanks.